Mission complete. We're done here.
Let's report back.
Well done out there, Raphael.
Did I do good? My presence wasn't too leaky or anything?
You weren't perfect. But you were good enough. The enemy didn't notice you, and that's all that counts. You should do well in battle, too.
Oh, yeah! Thanks for taking me on the mission with you, Shamir. Now, how can I repay you?
Please, there's no need.
Aw, come on. Don't be like that. I swear, I'll do whatever I can to...
Okay, if you insist. Then go back to the way you were. That's enough for me.
I don't get it.
You're now able to go undetected on the battlefield, but usually you...
Ah, I know. I spent too much energy trying to hide my presence. I gotta train more so it comes naturally.
I was actually going to suggest the opposite. Your presence is a comfort to your allies. I am also more comfortable knowing that you're around.
Really? If that's how you feel, then we gotta stick together. We can eat meals together, train together, hang out together, or...
No. I mean, that won't be necessary.
Oh, alright. I guess I'll leave you alone then.
That's not what I meant either. I won't stop you if you wish to continue working with me. Let's do recon again sometime.
Really? That's great! I can't wait!
Hello, hello. Am I back? Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Updates, man. Updates. Always have to test my stuff.
Hello again, Sedith. Oh, full basket. Big catch?
Indeed. Thanks to you, I now know all about the proper use of bait.
Even so, that's quite the haul.
I have developed a few tricks of my own as well. In my enthusiasm, I may have gotten a little greedy.
Oh, yeah?
Once I started to catch fish, I began to pay very close attention to the number I had caught. I hear it is not uncommon for one to become a little preoccupied with that sort of thing. And when I recalled the prospect of having what I caught cooked for me, the challenge was too tempting to ignore. But alas, it seems I have gotten a little more preoccupied than is appropriate for my age.
Well, that's only natural. Seeing what you've already got just makes you curious how far you can take it.
It has made fishing an even richer experience for me. And for that, I must thank you.
Don't mention it. Actually, I should thank you too.
Oh?
Yeah. Used to be, I only ever fished for food. Lately, though, I've been coming here just to relax. I do still eat the fish, of course, but I appreciate fishing in a whole new way now.
Seems we have both made worthwhile discoveries. So which is it today? Hunger or relaxation?
I'd only planned to take it easy, but seeing all you've caught has definitely made me hungry.
I had planned to bring all of them to you regardless. Take as many as you please.
Hey, thanks. In that case, why don't we eat together? You can leave all the cooking to me.
Professor Hanneman. How unexpected.
Hello, Miss Dorothea. There is something I would like to ask you, should you have a moment.
And whatever would that be, Professor?
Ah, it's just some rumor I heard about your prejudice against the nobility. You remember when you came to me before, and we talked about how I used to be noble? I was just wondering what your aim was.
To clarify, I only hate nobles who are obsessed with their status. You're not that kind of man, Professor. I mean that, really. And it sounds like you never were.
I see. But hating nobles obsessed with their status, you must have had some terrible experience in the past. Ah, my apologies. That was rather presumptuous.
No, it's fine. As I'm sure you know, I was a highly praised songstress for a time. Before I was a singer, though, I was an orphan. And before that, I was the daughter of a noble's maid.
My goodness! From an orphan to a renowned songstress. That is quite a life you have led, Miss Dorothea.
Well, I don't remember much of my early years. My father was never there, and my mother was driven out of the noble house where she worked. Before long, she fell ill. I was always alone, and I lived in the alleys of the imperial capital, just trying to survive from one day to the next.
I see.
Eventually, after I became a singer, I met the nobleman that I think is my father.
Oh.
He'd had a child with a maid, but the child didn't have a crest. So he threw them both away. Those were his very words. I can't prove that he really was my father, but I suppose it doesn't matter. He didn't know who I was. And when he flirted with me, my feelings were something beyond fury. I was dumbfounded. In truth, I felt that way about all of the nobles who flocked around me, yet would just as easily have tossed me away should it better suit them.
You have my most heartfelt of apologies, Dorothea. I am afraid my curiosity has opened old wounds. Sadly, it is undeniable that the nobility is full of such terrible people. Perhaps even myself.
Professor?
Oh, it is nothing. Just lost in a memory of my own. Just know that I will do my part to ensure that you always know kindness in this world.
Thank you.
Good day to you, Seteth.
Persistent, aren't you? If this is about my crest...
No. I thought we might speak of something else for a change.
Is that so?
Indeed. I am quite fond of conversation, even just for the sake of conversation. Just listen to an old man's worries, eh?
Very well. Go ahead.
Perhaps it's due to my age, but I've been troubled by lower back pain lately. Right now, I'm in the process of finding a good way to treat it.
Ah. If it is an ointment you're after, I think Manuela would know more than me.
An excellent suggestion. Yes, I'm sure she will be able to help me with the pain itself, but...
What are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing. I'm only lamenting the fact that I am getting old. It is a pastime I'm not sure I enjoy. Yet I can't help but notice time hasn't taken such a toll on you.
Well, the signs of age may not write themselves plainly on my face, but I feel the strain of years as much as you.
Is that right? But then, that doesn't explain your sister. Your sister, Flame, was born around the time I came to the monastery from the Empire, yes? In all that time, I never knew you to pay her a visit or to write her letters. Yet somehow, the two of you seem very close, like a family who has spent years together. Could this not suggest a different interpretation? Perhaps, like you, she has...
You will not pry into Flame's business. If you interrogate her, no. If you even so much as inquire where she has been or what she has done, I will never forgive you. Never. Investigate me all you wish. I will even cooperate if I must. But Flame...
Calm down, Seteth. I have no intentions of approaching Flame.
Do I have your word on that?
You have my word as a scholar and as a man. I do apologize for using your sister's name in that way.
Using her? What do you... Oh, that is low.
You promised me just now. Investigate me all you wish, you said. I will even cooperate, you said. Do you deny it? Those words were all I needed to hear. Now I have no cause to approach your sister.
It seems I have no choice. To think I have been played the fool by a man of your age.
I'll let that slight go, now that I have your cooperation.
Even with my cooperation, there is no guarantee you will reach the truth.
Oh, Seteth. Searching for the truth is what I do. And I will find it. I promise you that.
Then I suppose I will have to look forward to the day you prove your claims.
I like that professor more and more. Oh my god.
It seems I'm not the only one here. Manuela?
Oh, Sedith. Hello.
This is quite the surprise. I would not expect to find you here outside of ordinary prayer time.
Praying? No, I was just resting. Whenever I'm in the infirmary, I simply cannot get out of doing work. I need a place to sit and close my eyes.
There is no need to hide it. It is obvious you were praying quite solemnly just now.
No, I was just enjoying some old memories. That's all. In fact, I was just thinking about when my parents first brought me here as a child. I wandered off from my parents because I heard a beautiful voice. It was a woman, singing, somewhere just out of sight. I began to sing along, hoping she would hear me and that we might meet. I never found her, whoever she was. Yet, it was she who taught me I could sing.
Interesting. I'd never heard that. But I suppose if you were only a child, this would be before I arrived at Garreg Mach. In any case, if that singing voice helped you find your way, then that is a wonderful thing.
I've never told anyone else, but I believe it was the goddess I heard. And that day, she gifted me my singing voice. And I thank the goddess for leading me back here after I left the opera company.
You know, when you speak of the goddess in this way, it is as though you are an entirely different person. If you were to behave that way more in your daily life, I would have a much higher opinion of you.
Oh, that's very sweet, coming from you, Sedith. Should I take that to mean that you like your ladies pious and respectable?
One little compliment and you completely lose control of yourself. What am I to do with you?
Oh, it's a joke. Look, I'm just no good at serious conversations. Although, I would be lying if I said I wasn't interested in knowing what kind of woman does get your attention.
As thanks for the touching tale you have shared, I will satisfy your curiosity just this once. My preferred woman is kind, quiet, and proper. But above all else, she is straightforward and honest.
Quiet. Proper. There's no need to be cruel, Sedith.
Oh, Seth. I like you a little more too.
Hey. We don't need to have this conversation. You don't know what I was going to say. Something about our vastly different approaches to life? Fine then. We don't need to talk about it. Actually... Really, Guy. Sorry, you go first. I was gonna say I'd hear you out. Okay, let's talk about it. I will be faithful to Lady Rhea until I die. If I had to choose between you and her, I would choose her every time. I assume that disqualifies me from being your partner. Between you and Rhea, I'd choose you. But between you and me, I'd choose me. That probably disqualifies me from being your partner, too. Well, no. I'm quite fond of being alive. I don't intend to sacrifice my life either. If it came down to you or me, I'd choose... What's wrong? Nothing. You're not like the rest of the knights. Maybe someday you'll have to take a path that diverges from ours. What if we went to war with your country? It is a possibility. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking like that. The future is one of the great mysteries of life. We can worry about it when the time comes. But until our paths diverge, you're my partner. And I couldn't ask for a better one. You got that right. I'm the best there is.
Manuela, do you recall what you told me? You mentioned that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, then its shadows will be darker too.
You sound so worried. That was nothing, dear. Call it a joke.
It most certainly did not sound like a joke. Can you please elaborate? Of course, I love hearing about your glamorous past performing on stage. But all that glamour doesn't account for the shadows you spoke of.
Well, I suppose I could share a little. Here's the thing about the opera. Talent isn't enough to earn you a position in a glamorous show. You need money, connections, and, failing those, the stomach to commit a spot of violence. I spent many nights buttering up nobles in power. No matter how humiliating the task, I'd do it, because I wanted to be a star. I hope that kind of talk isn't too shocking for a sweet girl like yourself. Are you disillusioned with me, now that you know my sordid past?
Not at all. Understanding you more deeply, I can see how much strength has been required of you all this time.
Flayn.
I am well aware that survival and striving for dreams sometimes means doing things we would not normally do. Perhaps because you have been so strong, lived with such conviction. Perhaps that is why your songs have touched so many people's hearts.
Oh, you sound very wise all of a sudden. Thank you, Flayn.
I would like to rescind my original request of you.
Your request to hear one of my songs?
Indeed. Instead, I have a different request. I would like to see you perform an opera on stage.
I don't know about that. It's been a long time since I stood on stage.
I imagine you have experienced much since you left the opera company. It follows then that you have developed new insights, charm, and wisdom to share.
Yes, I probably could play a tragic role even better now than I could back then. But it's hardly the time for operas. We need to put an end to this war first.
Agreed. Let us make the curtain fall on this war as soon as possible.
Maybe then we can raise the curtain on a brand new performance. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
That is exactly what I yearn for.
Okay, so Hammond, Manuela, and Manuela. Catherine. They need new stuff. Gosh, she hasn't passed anything.
Time to celebrate.
Nope. Still a nope on that one. Not even a sniper, Hammond.
Of course I passed. I am a scholar.
We'll say yes for now. Let's see how that changes your abilities.
Well, I'm glad I passed.
Nah. Doesn't matter how sturdy the keep. If the commander defending it is incompetent, it can fall as easy as anything. That's what they say, at least. I wonder if that applies to Fort Mercius. All I know is, if I was the Emperor, I'd never in a million years assign an incompetent commander to a fort as important as that one.
Unless you had to. That's all the commanders you had.
Hi there.
Hello there.
The fish in this pond get fed every day. so they're swimming all lazy and serene. But the only reason they're kept here is so that they can one day be used for food. But the fish don't know that, so they just swim around happily. It's a bit of a miserable thought, but aren't soldiers much the same?
That is a miserable thought. Thank you for that
No.
thought.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Is it true that we'll be assaulting Fort Mercius next? That doesn't sound like the brightest idea. I've heard that it's built to withstand an attack from even the largest of armies. And not to tell you how to do your job, but don't do it. I'm not ready to say my final goodbyes to everyone.
Welcome!
Oh.
Is that the one? Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Come back soon.
Hello!
Will this one do? It's all yours. Take it. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Hello there. This one, yes? I thank you. This one, yes? I thank you.
Nice. Yes, I do have elsewhere, but I will let people know elsewhere is 24 bucks and a free line chest and key.
Return
I'm
soon,
there.
please.
Hey, welcome.
I've been wanting to play Guild Wars 1 and 2 for a while.
Come again.
But Fire Emblem is just taking over my life, like usual.
What do you require? Farewell.
Professor!
Hey there.
What's up, Skill? You can play Guild Wars after you're done with Fire Emblem. Yeah, seriously. I don't think she has the longbow. That needs to be repaired.
Is this it? There you go. Is this it? There you go. Come back anytime. Hey there.
Raphael.
Is this it?
There you go. Come back anytime.
And I shall, don't you worry.
Hey,
Hey there! We merchants of the Alliance territories were excited to hear of your victory in the last battle. We don't much like the prospect of doing business under the heel of the Empire. The Alliance is what we know and love. But more than that, it's low on regulations, which is great for business. Please keep up the good work, Professor. The merchants of the world are on your side.
I'm always here to help merchants, let me tell you.
Claude takes care of the strategy, you direct the troops, and the rest of us focus on the fighting. As long as the system keeps working, we can win any battle, no matter the odds. That's what everyone's saying, anyway. Hope you can keep up with our expectations, Professor.
I hope so too.
Thanks.
Blue cheese.
Thanks. Thanks.
Not really your cup of tea, I take it.
Thanks.
Okay, at least you're motivated.
Hey, you.
Hello, fellow Alliance person. My gazebo. Raphael.
You know when you work your muscles and they start screaming? That means you gotta be nice to them. If your muscles are hungry, you gotta feed them. And let them rest when they're tired. Of course! If my muscles hurt, then I hurt. If they're hungry, well then I'm hungry too. What's with the confused face, Professor? You look like you don't get a word I'm saying.
I'll give you a gift.
Is this for me? It's so nice!
Yeah, I knew you like working out.
Is this for me? It's so nice!
Okay, that's all I want, Raphael. Make sure you're motivated.
My cooking is so good, it's been called seductive. Should I show you what I can do, Professor? Right. I do so enjoy cutting up vegetables in preparation to cook. So I'll do that and leave you with the cleanup. Oh.
My people are gonna need 3 health this month.
Hi.
I've come to deliver vegetables we harvested in the village to the monastery's dining hall. Because of the season, I couldn't really pick that much. But I wanted to help you guys out, even just a little bit. We're busily planting seeds, so when things start to grow, I'll be back.
That's nice of you. Oh. Let's do Flame and Catherine.
This is nearly as delicious as Mother's cooking. I would happily eat this every day.
Eating food always fires me up. Hoorah! Let's go fight somebody!
Takes care of those two.
Standing face to face with those whom I went to school with. On the field of battle. How inhuman war is. How horrifying. My heart feels shattered. It is my hope that this war marks the end of such foolish behavior.
I hope. I hope.
Hey, you.
What?
Wow. I hardly recognize everyone. Their faces have changed so much. More experience in the eyes, and more pain. I'm glad that they're stronger, but I hate to think they've all become hardened killers. Look after them, okay? Try to keep them on the straight and narrow.
I will.
I never used to care whether I lived or died. But after seeing so much death firsthand, I now realize how precious life truly is. I'm ashamed of how arrogant I was to think that death could mean so little.
Ah, Professor, I have a question for you. Have you heard of the Death Knight? I'm referring to that Imperial general who has been operating under that moniker. Nothing is certain yet, but I get the feeling we'll have to face him soon enough.
Okay. Edelgard, Dimitri, and our own Claude. All the house leaders from way back when, assembled again at Gronder. I wonder what their thoughts were as they headed out to the battlefield. Definitely.
After that great battle earlier, the balance of power in Fodlan has shifted greatly. To get revenge for all our fallen friends, we'll have to stake our lives on the fight that lies before us. Hey, you!
Professor.
Yes.
Professor. So many people died in the battle at Gronder. And here we are, preparing for the next battle as if nothing happened the day before. It's almost easier to think about war as theater, with the stage an entire continent. Something like that. If an accident happens on stage, the next day's performance must be unaffected. Everyone just pretends like everything is fine, focusing on their role in the play. Are you sure? Thank you, I love... Are you sure? Thank you, I love it.
Yes.
Really?
This is no good. Sing from your diaphragm. Law. Get it? Law.
I can't sing very loud.
Need something? See you again soon.
I'd come here after getting chased out of the Empire. There's no place for our kind there anymore. But there are still many inside Empire territory who haven't abandoned their faith in the Church of Seiros. I pray that one day we'll get the chance to rebuild the church within the Empire.
Sorry, it's gotta be like
this. It's not even going to be a challenge today. Raphael's gonna mess them up. Brawling is his thing, man.
Time for seconds!
Look at this.
That's another one.
It hasn't been touched yet.
Sorry, it's gotta be like this. Time for seconds!
Oh my.
No chance.
No, seriously, there's just no chance when you're around. They didn't get
should have seen that
on
coming.
him. Not one shot. You buddy.
Hey!
No.
Professor. Hey, Professor. I think you've been working too much lately. The battle's gonna keep going with or without you, but you're the one doing the most out there. It's real impressive how you can focus on giving orders and fighting. I don't think I could do both in the same battle. I see you running all over the place, even after the battle's over. I just don't want you to wear yourself out. Oh yeah? As soon as you say you're fine, that's when it hits you. No offense, Professor, but don't you think some folks might be taking advantage of you? Claude keeps asking you to do things, but you never say no. Like when you gave that speech to the troops. That didn't seem like something you wanted to do. I know you gotta follow orders on the battlefield, but you shouldn't have to do things off the battlefield if you don't wanna. What do you mean? Like studying? Sure, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but that was to keep my little sis fed. I had good reason for it.
Exactly.
The same, huh? I think I get what you mean. You do things you don't want to do for the sake of everyone else. That's real noble of you, Professor. I guess I can't get in your way if you're doing it for the right reasons. Okay then. I'm gonna keep trying to do my best. But now, I'm gonna do it for you. My little sis is important to me. But you're real important too. I always work hard for the people who matter to me. And having more of them in my life just means I gotta work even harder. What do you think?
Yeah, you are important to me too,
Really?
Raphael.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Yeah, you're a good guy.
You're gonna make me blush. We gotta keep working hard together then. At least until this war's over. I'll work to make sure you don't collapse from exhaustion. You got nothing to worry about, Professor. I've been training non-stop. I got your back, no matter what.
Teach. Each time we take a step forward, more blood is spilled. But by spilling that blood, we're able to take yet another step forward. War is always a cruel affair. But luckily, we have each other to lean on. We've steeled our hearts. We won't be broken. I couldn't agree more. Without them, we could never have made it this far. Oh, and about taking the fort, I'll need a tad more time to prepare our plan. It's called an impregnable fortress for a reason, after all. My contingencies need contingencies this time, or we may not pull it off.
I get you.
No, thanks. No, thanks. No, thanks. No, thanks.
Just give you flowers.
I wonder how far we can get with this plan. Dressing up like Imperial soldiers to sneak in. Claude said it could use some refinement. Any ideas? Claude dressed as a woman? I don't understand what the point of that would be.
It's a bad joke.
On second thought, let's just stick to the plan as originally conceived. That seems safer. Excuse me, could you do me a favor?
Teach.
Hilda's quite a tactician, disguising ourselves as enemy soldiers to sneak in undetected. A stroke of brilliance. With this strategy, we can really snatch victory from the jaws of deceit. Yes, with you leading our fighters, I've no doubt the Empire will suffer an embarrassing deceit. Get it? Deceit again?
I like his bad jokes. Remind me of my own.
Please tell Claude not to give us any more ridiculous orders. I've reached out through all of my channels, but there are limits to these things. I'll have to recruit an entire town's worth of people if I ever plan on making enough Imperial uniforms. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, I doubt she would like that.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Each step closer to Enbar, I'm reminded of another part of my past. Riches and poverty, glory and failure. That city has it all. And if I'm honest, Sometimes I miss it. That's how the past works, though, isn't it? It's always a different story than what you really lived.
Indeed. Skill. Yes, you would bleed to death. I think that's a cruel joke about war, about brutal wars.
Fort Mercius is the Empire's single most fortified military installation. Utterly impregnable, they say. I wonder, do you happen to know the nickname given to Fort Mercius? Indeed, a very good answer. But of course, you'd know that. Seems Fodlans give everyone and everything a nickname. Why, you were called the Ashen Demon. Myself, I have been called the Father of Crestology, which is a nickname as well as a title, I suppose. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Guess what I noticed? I can see further than most other people can see. But I can't figure the point of seeing further than an arrow can fly, since I can't shoot what I see. I suppose I could see a whole horde of enemies coming and run away. That's kind of useful, at least. Thanks, Professor. I think I get it now. I'm gonna put my eyes to real good use.
Some say they saw Gilbert, who used to serve in the Knights of Seros, at Gronder. Apparently, he was originally a Knight of the Kingdom who served Prince Dimitri. He was an exceptional knight. I wish I could have fought by his side.
Fort Mercius is a keep that was constructed to defend the Imperial capital, Enbar. We cannot enter the capital without first capturing that fort. But once we have it, the city should be almost entirely at our mercy. Whatever strategy you have in mind, I have faith that it will lead to victory.
Let's see.